welcome back to UCI. It's been a while.
For new and returning anteaters, we've developed this tour of UCI's most iconic landmarks.
So put on some comfy shoes.
Please take your seats. The ceremony will start soon.
Hey, Ramin.
Hey, Sherman. I wonder if everyone out there actually knows how to do the anteater sign.
Of course they do. It's so easy.
Go ahead, show me.
It's like this, right?
No, that's not.
No. Okay, is it like this with the ears curled a little bit? Like
No, that's not right.
no?
3 easy steps to doing the anteater sign. First, hand out.
Out.
Next, drop the 2 middle fingers to the thumb.
Okay.
And then the last step is to move that thumb back. That elongates the nose, so you can go za.
It's all about the zot.
What's a zot?
Zot is the ferocious sound the anteater makes when it strikes.
Okay. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Zot, zot, zot.
That's all I got.
Okay, anteater friends and family, now you know how it's done. Let me see your best zot.
It's midnight as we cut through the city.
Welcome back to UCI. It's been a while.
For new and returning anteaters, we've developed this tour of UCI's most iconic landmarks.
So put on some comfy shoes
Get your phones ready.
and practice your za as we take a walk around the UCI campus.
All right, let's go.
This
Yes.
way. First stop, UCI Student Center. For students of all years and majors, the UCI Student Center is an important hub of activity and a home away from home. The Student Center includes 2 food courts, Starbucks, and The Hill for all your UCI swag. It's home to UCI's clubs and organizations, countless student services, and meeting spaces. UCI's dance crews are known to give lunchtime performances on the Student Center terrace.
Next up, the UCI Esports Arena. Here's what you should know about esports at UCI. UCI was the first public university to create an official esports program in the summer of 2016. UCI esports teams compete in League of Legends, Overwatch, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. With a thriving esports arena and a computer game science major, it's no wonder UCI is known as a top school for gamers.
Next up, a more traditional symbol of the college experience, Langston Library. You'll get to know this spot during finals and midterms. Langston is one of the 3 libraries at UCI. The UC library system is the 2nd largest library system in the world, second only to the Library of Congress. UCI's Special Collections and Archives is home to one of Shakespeare's first folios from 1623, an archive of regional OC history and Southeast Asian archives.
Alright, time for a study break. Aldrich Park is the heart of the UCI campus and a great place to get away from the hustle and bustle of campus life. The 21-acre park is named after UCI's founding chancellor, Daniel G. Aldrich. The park hosts annual events such as the Anteater Involvement Fair, UCI Homecoming, Celebrate UCI, and many other student events. Also, the park is the best place to study, relax, and most importantly, to cut across campus when you're running late for class.
Next stop, the UCI Infinity Fountain. You probably know it from Instagram. It's also the home of UCI's favorite pair of mallard ducks, Howard and Maude. Here are some things you should know about the Infinity Fountain. Its name represents the infinite amount of knowledge in the universe. It's also the centerpiece of the School of Physical Sciences, which boasts 3 Nobel Prize winners, F. Sherwood Rowland, Frederick Reines, and Irvin Rose. It provides a great view of Aldrich Park, and although it's tempting in the SoCal heat, please refrain from jumping in the fountain.
Next, let's take a look at UCI's Science Library. The Science Library is completely dedicated to holding the volumes and collections related to science. In fact, it's the biggest science library west of the Mississippi. The library is home to the Center for Excellence in Writing and Communication, a presentation studio space so you can practice your class presentations, the honors study room, and some great views of campus. Fun fact for all you Trekkies, from overhead, the library looks like the Starship Enterprise.
Let's go outside and check out the Zhao Sculpture Garden. The sculptures in Aldrich Park celebrate notable Chinese philosophers, Li Bai, a Bohemian poet, the goddess Ma Gu, who represented longevity, the statesman Chu Yin, representing cultural tradition, and the philosopher Lao Tzu, who represented balance in nature. The garden was donated in 2005 by the local businessman Frank Zhao, who relocated the statues from Orange County's Little Saigon.
If you're in the Arts Plaza and need a space for quiet contemplation, check out the Myelin Water Table. The Arts Plaza opened in 2005 and was designed by celebrated artist and architect Myelin, who also designed the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. The plaza's signature piece is the water table, which is designed to connect the various senses to your surroundings.
Now we're at the Brennan Event Center, home to the bronze Peter the Anteater statue. This 430-pound bronze anteater sculpture was designed by artist Billy Fitzgerald and was a gift from the class of 1987. This bronze anteater welcomes everyone to the Brennan Event Center and UCI Athletics. The Brennan Event Center is where you start and end your college journey, with convocation as an incoming student and commencement at the very end.
Our next landmark is one of the most recent, as the BC Anteater and the UCI Athletics logo were added to the UCI Water Tower in 2016. This 58-foot wide version looms 102 feet over West Peltison Drive. No one reps the UCI Athletics harder than Peter the Anteater. Did you know that UCI has 18 NCAA Division I programs? Anteaters have beaten the zot out of opponents, winning 28 national championships in 9 different sports. no UCI experience is complete without cheering for the eaters in the student section. Whew, that was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this tour.
Now it's your turn to share your hashtag UCI Pride. When you come to campus, please check out the stops on our campus tour and share your selfies on social media. Zot, zot, zot!
Hey, Ramin.
Hey, Sherman. I wonder if everyone out there actually knows how to do the anteater sign.
Of course they do. It's so easy.
Go ahead, show me.
It's like this, right?
No, that's not.
No. Okay. Is it like this with the ears curled a little bit? Like.
No, that's not right.
No.
3 easy steps to doing the anteater sign. First, hand out.
Out.
Next, drop the 2 middle fingers to the thumb.
Okay.
And then the last step is to move that thumb back. That elongates the nose, so you can go zot.
It's all about the zot.
What's a zot?
Zot is the ferocious sound the anteater makes when it strikes.
Okay. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Zot, zot, zot.
That's all I got.
Hey, Dad. Just wanted to say thanks again for watching Noah. He's been looking forward to this all week. But take it easy, okay? I hope you boys are having fun and behaving yourselves. I'll see you tonight. Love you.
Okay, come on, let's go get him.
Dave, it's Tom. Great seeing you and Veronica the other night. Gotta say, you're looking good for a guy who just had prostate cancer surgery. When you told me you were back home the same day, I couldn't believe it. They're doing something right over there at UCI Health. Anyway, next time, dinner's on me.
Hi, David. It's Dr. Lee at UCI Health. Just checking in to see how you're feeling after surgery. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Take care.
So, what do you want to do tomorrow?
If we can repeat this, I would do it all over again.
nature.
Please take your seats.
Welcome back to UCI. It's been a while.
For new and returning anteaters, we've developed this tour of UCI's most iconic landmarks.
So put on some comfy shoes.
Get your phones ready.
And practice your za as we take a walk around the UCI campus.
All right, let's go.
Yes. First stop, UCI Student Center. For students of all years and majors, the UCI Student Center is an important hub of activity and a home away from home. The Student Center includes 2 food courts, Starbucks, and The Hill for all your UCI swag. It's home to UCI's clubs and organizations, countless student services, and meeting spaces. UCI's dance crews are known to give lunchtime performances on the Student Center terrace.
Next up, the UCI Esports Arena. Here's what you should know about esports at UCI. UCI was the first public university to create an official esports program in the summer of 2016. UCI esports teams compete in League of Legends, Overwatch, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. With a thriving esports arena and a computer game science major, it's no wonder UCI is known as a top school for gamers.
Next up, a more traditional symbol of the college experience, Langston Library. You'll get to know this spot during finals and midterms. Langston is one of the 3 libraries at UCI. The UC library system is the 2nd largest library system in the world, second only to the Library of Congress. UCI's Special Collections and Archives is home to one of Shakespeare's first folios from 1623, an archive of regional OC history and Southeast Asian archives.
All right, time for a study break. Aldrich Park is the heart of the UCI campus and a great place to get away from the hustle and bustle of campus life. The 21-acre park is named after UCI's founding chancellor, Daniel G. Aldrich. The park hosts annual events such as the Anteater Involvement Fair, UCI Homecoming, Celebrate UCI, and many other student events. Also, the park is the best place to study, relax, and most importantly, to cut across campus when you're running late for class.
Next stop, the UCI Infinity Fountain. You probably know it from Instagram. It's also the home of UCI's favorite pair of mallard ducks, Howard and Maude. Here are some things you should know about the Infinity Fountain. Its name represents the infinite amount of knowledge in the universe. It's also the centerpiece of the School of Physical Sciences, which boasts 3 Nobel Prize winners, F. Sherwood-Rowland, Frederick Reines, and Irving Rose. It provides a great view of Aldrich Park, and although it's tempting in the SoCal heat, please refrain from jumping in the fountain.
Next, let's take a look at UCI's Science Library. The Science Library is completely dedicated to holding the volumes and collections related to science. In fact, it's the biggest science library west of the Mississippi. The library is home to the Center for Excellence in Writing and Communication, a presentation studio space so you can practice your class presentations, the honors study room, and some great views of campus. Fun fact for all you Trekkies, from overhead, the library looks like the Starship Enterprise.
Let's go outside and check out the Zhao Sculpture Garden. The sculptures in Aldrich Park celebrate notable Chinese philosophers, Li Bai, a Bohemian poet, the goddess Ma Gu, who represented longevity, the statesman Chu Yin, representing cultural tradition, and the philosopher Lao Tzu, who represented balance in nature. The garden was donated in 2005 by the local businessman Frank Zhao, who relocated the statues from Orange County's Little Saigon.
If you're in the Arts Plaza and need a space for quiet contemplation, check out the Maya Lin Water Table. The Arts Plaza opened in 2005 and was designed by celebrated artist and architect Maya Lin, who also designed the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. The plaza's signature piece is the water table, which is designed to connect the various senses to your surroundings.
Now we're at the Bread Event Center, home to the bronze Peter the Anteater statue. This 430-pound bronze anteater sculpture was designed by artist Billy Fitzgerald and was a gift from the class of 1987. This bronze anteater welcomes everyone to the Bread Event Center and UCI Athletics. The Bread Event Center is where you start and end your college journey, with convocation as an incoming student and commencement at the very end.
Our next landmark is one of the most recent, as the BC Anteater and the UCI Athletics logo were added to the UCI Water Tower in 2016. This 58-foot wide version looms 102 feet over West Peltison Drive. No one reps the UCI Athletics harder than Peter the Anteater. Did you know that UCI has 18 NCAA Division I programs? Anteaters have beaten the zot out of opponents, winning 28 national championships in 9 different sports. No UCI experience is complete without cheering for the Eaters in the student section. Whew, that was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this tour.
Now it's your turn to share your hashtag UCI Pride. When you come to campus, please check out the stops on our campus tour and share your selfies on social media. Zot, zot, zot!
Hey, Armin.
Hey, Sherwin. I wonder if everyone out there actually knows how to do the anteater sign.
Of course they do. It's so easy.
Go ahead, show me.
It's like this, right?
anteaters, fellow graduates, family, and friends. Today is the day we've been working so hard for. And now, here we are. Look around you. Each one of us has a story. We have journeys that are as unique and diverse as our anteater student body. Many of us are first gen, the first in our families to go to college, the first to earn a degree. Some of us have taken non-traditional paths to get to where we are today. But there is something that every anteater has in common. No matter what the world has in store for each of us, we forge ahead, shining a light for others to follow. We are UCI.
The people that I've been able to meet, they want to change the world and they want to inspire each other, help each other out. And you come to Irvine and you graduate and you made yourself better, you made the school better, you made each other better. And that's kind of what I'm going to miss most.
The professionalism, the grace, the humility to always remember your roots and where you come from.
My big thing is being positive.
That's what we do as anteaters. Keep pushing forward no matter what.
Learning about other people's stories, where they've been, where they're going, has been super inspiring for me.
My name is Erin Joy E. Araneta, and I'm about to get my Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry. Sometimes I just get bugs from the box like this. I really saw myself as a chemist, especially if I can create a bigger impact. I'm working on carbon capture here. If we have more and more carbon dioxide, it gets warmer and warmer, and that's how our glaciers melt. This is hopefully part of a solution that can offset the carbons that we're releasing.
All right, if you hear me, clap once.
My name is Kamasi Kendrick. I'm a Master of Teaching candidate. I want to be that teacher who kind of makes things lighter for students. I want to go back to LA, give back to my community. And one way that I want to do that is by showing them that I'm a math teacher, I'm African American. If I can do it, other students of color can do it as well.
My name is Nikki Yamashiro. I am doing my family nurse practitioner and my doctorate of nursing practice at the same time. In the military, I was a combat medic. This is by far the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but the most rewarding. We did this program as the inaugural cohort, and we did it through a pandemic. We have literally witnessed miracles, touched people's lives, saved lives, seen new life.
My name is Michelange Francois Hemsley. I'm majoring in African American Studies with a minor in Criminology, Law, and Society. I was born in Haiti and I was adopted when I was 18 months old. Not many children who were born in Haiti get the chance to get a K-12 education, let alone graduate from college. I have such fond memories of almost every night going out on walks with my friends. You're trying to get to class on the other side of campus. It's a great way to just immerse yourself in nature by cutting through the park.
My name is Ana Medina, and I grew up in Tijuana, Mexico, doing a master's in fine arts in dance. Dance is a language that I'm able to speak wherever I go. The pandemic was kind of a pause and a reflection. It was a moment for us to truly ask ourselves why we're doing this. I am supported from all around, my family, my friends, my community, my faculty, the art school. I feel very supported and strong.
I tend to be an emotional person when it comes to goodbyes and leaving places that I've grown so fond of. I will always feel connected to UCI.
I really love working with our lab. We are very collaborative. It's just really hard to say goodbye and leave.
Our cohort has become our second family. We're each other's #1 fans. We've all taken a part of UCI with us.
I feel like it's bittersweet to leave UCI. You've created this family and this routine that you feel so lucky and happy to do every day, and it's going to be very hard to say goodbye.
The life that I'm able to give my children after this is going to be much different than the life that I had and much different than the life my parents had growing up. It's indescribable.
Each each one of us is a part of something bigger. Lifelong members of a fiercely dedicated community. And we wouldn't be here today without the support of our classmates, our professors, our mentors, our families, and friends. Now, we adventure on to the next chapter in our stories. The future is ours to write. Class of 2022, keep shining brightly as anteaters for life.
There you go. Zat, zat, zat.
Zat, zat, zat.
Zat, zat, zat.
Zat, zat, zat.
It's not this, it's this. Zot, zot, zot.
Zot, zot, zot.
Zot, zot, zot.
Graduates and esteemed guests, the 58th commencement for the University of California, Irvine is assembled. Please welcome to the stage Jackie Diaz, baccalaureate candidate from the Claire Trevor School of the Arts, to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, thank you, Jackie. Please be seated. I am Chancellor Howard Gilman, and on behalf of the faculty and staff, welcome to the 2022 commencement ceremony for the University of California, Irvine. Joining me today on the platform are the following chief academic and administrative officers of the university and other participants in the ceremony. When I call your name, I'd like you to stand and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until the end, and we'll recognize them as a group. Starting on my right, Derek Sabori, UCI Alumni Association, class of '96 and 2002, Mace Marshall. Our student speaker, Danya Sakura Cervantes, baccalaureate candidate, School of Social Sciences. Willie Banks Jr., Vice Chancellor, Student Affairs. Our featured speaker, Yusef Salaam, entrepreneur, author, trainer, and leader. Absolutely. Hal Stern, Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor. Alexis Zaragoza, UC Student Regent. Jillian Hayes, Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Dean of the Graduate Division. Michelle Kine, Associate Dean of Undergraduate Division. Associate Dean Susan Coutine, University Marshall. Diane O'Dowd, Vice Provost for Academic Personnel. Tom Andriola, Vice Chancellor, Information Technology and Data. Rick Coulon, Interim Chief Financial Officer and Vice Chancellor, Finance and Administration. Andrea Gunn-Eaton, Chief Campus Counsel. Doug Haynes, Vice Chancellor, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. Kate Brigman, Associate Provost and Chief of Staff. Brian Hervey, Vice Chancellor, University Advancement and Alumni Relations. Pramod Karganakar, Vice Chancellor, Research. Sherry Main, Vice Chancellor, Strategic Communications and Public Affairs. Kirsten Kwanbeck, Vice Chancellor, Equal Opportunity and Compliance. Roseanne Cohen-Silver, Vice Provost for Academic Planning and Institutional Research. Joanna Ho, Chair, Academic Senate. I'd also wish to acknowledge the presence of our deans with us on stage and our distinguished faculty joining our students. Will the deans and the faculty also rise? Ladies and gentlemen, the platform party, our deans and faculty, please join me in welcoming them to this ceremony. Good job, everybody. You may now be seated. Be seated. To everyone gathered here today, let me say, this amazing graduating class will forever be remembered as one of the most resilient and responsive and determined classes we have ever had the privilege of knowing. And graduates, just consider your journey, all of those years of dreaming, aspiring, planning, so many long days and late nights, the incredible adjustments you had to make just to keep going, an epic journey, a very high mountaintop to climb, and here you are. Take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of your accomplishment, and on behalf of the entire UCI community, I offer you my most heartfelt congratulations. Now, graduates, in the course of time, you're going to reflect on many different aspects of these years beyond the extraordinary disruption of the pandemic. So, for example, you'll remember the time you spent with friends, the setbacks that you pushed through. You'll remember the classes, professors, and experiences that helped you better understand important questions, or that deepened your sense of purpose, or that triggered new passions. You'll remember having the best mascot of any college or university in the United States. You'll remember the scramble for Petar stickers, overnights at the Gateway Center, boba on Ring Road. There's a lot to remember. And you'll come to see that the unique circumstances of the past years won't overshadow all of the wonderful experiences that you had during your time as a UCI student. Now, I know people often think of commencement as a marking of an ending, but of course, to commence is to begin. So this day marks the first day of the rest of your lives. So as you prepare your commencement from here, I hope you'll also carry with you not just the new knowledge and hard-earned expertise, but also some of the spirit of the community that we built together. Because when we were at our best, we made decisions about how to relate to one another, which if applied outside of our community, could improve our world. For example, we offered each other relationships of mutual respect in the hope that others would do the same. We exhibited a willingness, even an eagerness, to listen to people with different backgrounds and opinions than our own, so that we might better understand the experiences and perspectives of others. We responded to disagreement not with invective or name-calling, but by deepening our conversations and marshaling, when we could, even better arguments and better evidence for our positions. We accepted that most differences of opinion were legitimate, even helpful to us, and didn't take the mere fact of disagreement as the basis for declaring someone an enemy. We treated every day as a chance to learn something new, and maybe most importantly, we cared about the truth. And so as you commence with your wonderful, promising lives, please especially continue to care about the truth. And I emphasize this because in our society, truth is under assault on many fronts. Politicians and their allies try to delegitimize or marginalize independent truth tellers or dismiss inconvenient facts. Too many people trap themselves in information echo chambers devoted merely to flattering their existing opinions, right or wrong. So please stand for the truth and defend the people who are doing their best to speak the truth, even when it is inconvenient or unpopular. Support those who model the power of independent thought against the coercions of mass opinion, the expectations of political loyalty, or the hysteria of the Twitter mobs. In particular, be on guard against the dogmatists, ideologues, and extremists who believe they're entitled to say anything in order to advance their cause. And in order to be on guard against those who assault truth, you will be well advised to apply throughout your life what you have learned here in almost every class and every assignment about serious thought, informed opinion, evidence-based reasoning, critical analysis, and clarity of expression. If you do so, it is my sincere hope that you will think of UCI as having cultivated and enriched your mind and spirit, as having prepared you for your ongoing development as a free and educated human being, and as having empowered you to push the world a little bit more toward the light. For as you know, the great motto of the University of California is Fiat Lux, let there be light. You are the light and the hope of the world. We are hopeful for the future because we know that we can count on you. And we cannot wait to see you again back on campus, reconnecting with professors, revisiting your favorite spots. Remember, you're an anteater for life, and while your time as a student is coming to an end, your time as an alumnus is just beginning. And the Alumni Association will make sure that your ongoing connection to the campus is meaningful and useful. On behalf of all of us on the faculty and everyone on the campus who worked so hard to support you and guide you, let me say to you, the class of 2022, that you have enriched us immeasurably, and we are grateful for having had the honor of having you as our students. It is with great pride that we congratulate you and we salute everyone who cares about you on your outstanding achievement that is represented by today's ceremony. Once again, congratulations on your tremendous accomplishment. Good job. Vice Chancellor Banks, please come forward to introduce our student speaker.
Thank you, Chancellor Gilman. It is my pleasure to introduce our commencement student speaker, Danya Sakura Cervantes. Danya graduated from Monterey Trail High School in Sacramento in 2018. Today, she will be graduating with honors in political science as a first-generation Latina student. Through her time at UCI, she was president of the National Society of Leadership and Success, a student teacher for UCI's Prison Education Project, where she dedicated her time to helping the incarcerated population. She was also a student mentor for first-generation and transfer students at UCI's Latinx Resource Center. After graduating, she plans to work for the Federal Public Defender's Office for the Central District of California while studying for the LSAT and applying to law school, with the goal of earning her Juris Doctorate degree and starting her own law firm specializing in those wrongfully convicted. Please welcome your commencement student speaker, Danya.
Good afternoon, and thank you. Welcome, families, friends, faculty, and the class of 2022. It is truly an honor to be speaking here before you all. As a first-generation Latina student, there are no words that come close to describing this moment. We are here to celebrate the success of the class of 2022. UCI has given us the opportunity to further reach our goals, and most importantly, it has brought us the knowledge and memories that we will cherish forever. Many of you discovered yourselves here, and I think we can all agree that UCI was our home away from home. We can all relate to those late-night study sessions, struggling to find parking, and, as of recently, falling asleep on Zoom. Along with the many great experiences at UCI, there were also struggles. Struggles each of us endured within ourselves. To those students who overcame crossroads, those who overcame adversity, and those who continued, no matter how difficult life became for them, know that you are not alone. 3 years ago, the thought of graduating from a top-tier research university seemed impossible. 3 years ago, I was living in my car. I was embarrassed, and I felt judged by everyone that passed by me. I could feel their negative thoughts through their stares. Again and again, I wanted to quit and felt the struggle wasn't worth it. The world seemed cruel, and I couldn't catch a break. When I thought things couldn't get any worse, someone crashed into my car, leaving it completely totaled. Shortly after, the pandemic struck, and the remainder of my second and third year was done through a laptop in a garage where my family and I lived. Update: the world is still cruel, but I am here. Perseverance, patience, and resilience are what got me through. We have all had challenges and obstacles that we faced, and yet we made it through. Your commitment has brought you here today. Living in a society where we are constantly comparing ourselves to others, and that you have to do this or do that to be successful. It takes effort to go against the odds. It is important to understand that you are unique and that success looks different for everyone. All of you here today are where you are meant to be. Stay resilient and keep moving forward. Do not worry about what you did or didn't do. Do not compare yourself to others. You all have strength only few can understand, because most have never experienced. Your journey is yours alone, so be proud of it. To those who are heading off to professional careers, law school, medical school, grad school, or those of you who are unsure where you're headed once you leave this stadium, relax. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe and know that you are right on time and that you can do it. I'd like to congratulate everyone once more for all of your hard work and success at UCI. I'd like to take a moment to thank UCI's faculty and staff who served as role models for supporting not only me, but the entire class of 2022. As we move forward, let us continue to be great in our own unique way and show the world what anteaters can do. If you all will join me in a final zot. Anteaters up. Zot, zot, zot. Thank you.
Thank you, Danya. Wonderful. I now have the honor of introducing our featured speaker, Yusef Salaam. I know. In 1989, just 15 years young, Dr. Yusef Salaam was tried and convicted in the infamous Central Park jogger case, along with 4 other Black and Latinx young men. The exonerated 5 spent between 7 and 13 years behind bars for crimes they did not commit until their sentences were overturned in 2002. Since then, they have received a multi-million-dollar settlement from the city of New York for its injustice and have been profiled in award-winning films, including the Central Park 5 documentary from Ken Burns, Sarah Burns, and David McMahon, and most recently, the Emmy Award-winning Netflix limited series, When They See Us, written and directed by Ava DuVernay. Over the past 2 decades, Salaam has become a family man, father, poet, and activist, and as you'll see, an inspirational speaker. He continues to utilize his platform to share his story with others and educate the public about the impact of mass incarceration and police brutality rooted in our justice system. He regularly advocates for criminal justice reform, prison reform, and the abolition of juvenile solitary confinement and capital punishment. Salaam is also a New York Times best-selling author and recently released his memoir, Better, Not Bitter, detailing his journey where in the face of injustice, Salaam found hope. He is the recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Barack Obama, and more recently has shared his story and stance on current issues on CNN, MSNBC, Revolt TV, NPR Atlanta, Fox, and more. Please join me in an enthusiastic anteater welcome for our special guest, Dr. Yusef Salaam.
I'm just setting a timer. I want to start by first saying, may the peace, mercy, and blessings of the owner of all peace, mercy, and blessings be upon each of you and your families. This is a special day. This is a day when I woke up, I said, I'll be on stage sharing some ideas and pointers about a future of greatness that you all have embarked on. I used to start sayings and speeches like this with perhaps the incoming freshman class. And to that class, I would invite them to go on a meditation with me, a live meditation where they would close their eyes and they would envision themselves at this very moment, seeing themselves being celebrated after going through a tremendous journey, a journey where they'll see themselves at the end taking the tassel and moving it from one side of their hat to the next. This is that time. This is that moment. As I sat thinking about what to say, I couldn't help but think about my journey. I went through something. I went through something that I was not expected to survive. And then had I survived, I was not expected to survive socially. I was supposed to be given a social death. But I survived with my faculties intact, realizing that the experience that I had gone through was more than just me going through something, that I had to grow through that in order to be here today. And by here today, I'm talking about being present, not just being here physically in the flesh, but being present, understanding who you are. 6 months into my prison bid, I'm in there for a crime I didn't commit. An officer walks up to me and he asks me a question. A seemingly simple question. He said, "Who are you?" I said that I'm Yusef Salaam, one of the young men wrongfully convicted for a crime I didn't commit, but I didn't do it. He said to me, "I know that." He told me that he'd been watching me and that I was not supposed to be there, asking me again, "Who are you?" I had to admit, I really didn't know. Very quickly, I began to do research. I wanted to know who I was. And so in the tradition of Africa, I had to do what is called Sankofa. I had to go back and retrieve something. I had to go back in my DNA. I had to go back in the deoxyribonucleic acid that was a part of my being to find something. I found out, just like you have found out, that you can conquer anything. That more importantly, you are built for times like this. That you have grown through a really important cycle of life. A cycle which looked like we saw no end. And now we are here to celebrate. We are here to celebrate. The Central Park jogger case, I found out, was actually a love story between God and his people. I call it a love story because the system itself was placed on trial 13 years after we were convicted of a crime we did not commit. It was placed on trial in order to produce a miracle in modern times. It was a story telling people that you could be buried alive and forgotten. And as the saying goes, the system will forget your seeds. Instead of a social death, you get the opportunity. And I'm calling it that. I'm calling it you get the opportunity to emerge like a phoenix from the ashes. Because as they built the fire to consume us, they forgot the owner of the heat. They forgot the owner of the heat. And more importantly, we need to never forget who we are. Systemically, you will find that there are those who will try to give you a definition of yourself, placing you in a box. And if you believe that, then you disallow yourself to be. And by be, I'm talking about the be that the great Creator called you to be. God didn't make a mistake. When your parents got together, ask them. They had the hopes and the dreams and the aspirations of this day inside of them. You were one of over 400 million options, and you were chosen. You were born on purpose, and you were born for a purpose. And I want you to never forget that. I want you to realize in the great tradition of Sankofa that you too have gone back to retrieve something, being some of the first in your generation to succeed. But this journey is not yet over. The most important thing in your life is the dash between your birth and your death. Do not leave this world without a trace. Let the world know you were here. Let the world know you were here. Because when I found myself in that dark space, I had to find the light in that darkness. And I found out that oftentimes that light is inside you. And you get the opportunity to illuminate your own darkness and shine your light on the world. If I can share with you a poem, this is a poem that was given to me while I was in prison by another young man who had been in prison for 15 years before I met him. He too was wrongfully incarcerated, and 15 years had gone by. The poem was called The Blank Canvas. Each of us are born into this world like a blank canvas. And everyone that comes across our path leaves a mark on the surface. And thus we grow. But there comes a time that we have to pick up our own brush and determine who and what we will be. Just another painting or a masterpiece? Paint your beautiful pictures. Become what your mother and father and grandmother and grandfather and ancestors all the way back to the beginning of time wanted for you. Live in the past because the past teaches us. Live in the present because you have to be here. And project yourself into the future. Project yourself into the future where you plan for success and greatness to be. One of my good friends and mentors, Les Brown, said, if you can't see it, you can't be it. So I want you to imagine yourself beyond this day. I want you to imagine yourself having become widely successful because of this because you chose to participate in brightening your light. And I want you to see yourself driving in your red Ferrari. And you happen to look over to your right, and you say, man, that Ferrari looks just like mine. Oh, that's Dr. Yusef Salaam. Hey, what's going on? Remember me? I got to put myself in that same reality too, because my wife said that's a stingy car. She said, we got 10 children. Nobody can fit in there. I wanted to say, well, that's the point, but imagine yourself not just being successful, but being wildly successful. In the car is the woman or the man or the caretaker who cheered you on to get to this moment. And in your pocket are the keys to the house that you bought them. No mortgage. It's theirs. I need you to see it. I need you to feel it. I need you to imagine it and put it on your mind's board of life. This will allow you to become laser focused and living on purpose. And lastly, I want to say, Dr. King said that when you find your purpose in life, do it as if God himself called you to do it at this very moment. Instead of giving us a grand idea of what purpose could be, Dr. King said, if your purpose in life is to be a street sweeper, sweep the streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. He said, sweep the streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep the streets like Leoton Price sang before the opera. Be excellent. And lastly, the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. I can remember when that statement made me sad inside. Too young to be in it. Now I couldn't even see it. Why? Why couldn't the revolution be televised? The last poets, Gil Scott-Heron. As I grew up, I began to see. They left theirs, and I too wanted to leave a mark on history. A man in half, and I wanted to bask in that task that set men free. But a revolution, the revolution, is where I knew I had to be. The revolution will not be televised. They didn't want to display the victory of those quote unquote lesser men. The revolution will not be televised. I want you to look at each other and realize the revolution will not be televised. Smile, I know, because you are the revolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Salaam. That is extraordinary. We're so grateful that you're here to share your story and your thoughts. Thank you so very much. One more time for... Well, dear friends, now is the time to recognize those we have assembled to honor today. Before we begin, I would first like to recognize our graduates, our colleagues, our friends from the School of Law and graduates from the School of Medicine. These graduates participated in commencement ceremonies earlier this year where their degrees were officially conferred. They join us today as we celebrate all of our graduates. Will our new Master of Laws from the Graduate Tax Program, Juris Doctor and Doctor of Medicine graduates from the Law School and School of Medicine who join us today. Will you please stand? There we go. We salute you. Say hi to your friends. Good job. You earned a lot of degrees. Please be seated. Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Stern, please come forward for the presentation of the candidates and the conferral of degrees.
Thank you, Chancellor Gilman. Graduates, today we honor your educational achievements. I know that you will take what you have learned, both inside and outside the classroom, with you on the next stage of your journey. But for now, let's just enjoy this fantastic day. Vice Provost and Dean Hayes, will you please come forward to join me in recommending the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Nursing Practice?
Candidates for degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Nursing Practice, please rise and remain standing.
Chancellor Gilman, it is with pride that I present these candidates. They have completed their courses of study and are recommended for their degrees by the faculty of their schools.
By virtue of the authority in me vested by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Nursing Practice degrees for which you have been presented. Welcome to the community of scholars and congratulations. Please be seated. Provost Stern and Vice Provost and Dean Hayes, please present the candidates for master's degrees.
Will the candidates for master's degrees please rise and remain standing?
Chancellor Gilman, it is with pride that I present these candidates. They have completed their courses of study and are recommended for their degrees by the faculty of their schools.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the master's degrees for which you've been presented. Congratulations, you did it. Nicely done. You did it. Please be seated. Thank you, Vice Provost and Dean Hayes. Provost Stern, please present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees.
Associate Dean Kine, will you please come forward to join me in recommending the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees?
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees please rise and remain standing? Woo!
Chancellor Gilman, it is with pride that I present these candidates. They have completed their courses of study and are recommended for their degrees by the faculty of their schools.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the bachelor's degrees for which you've been presented. You have just now graduated from college. Congratulations. Good job. And now, new bachelors, I invite you to take part in a time-honored academic tradition. Since the days long ago when students were first identified by the caps and gowns they wore, Those who had not yet earned a degree wore the tassel on the right side of the mortarboard. When the degree was conferred, the scholar moved the tassel to the left and joined a select company. So now, following in that academic tradition and in recognition of your new status, bachelors, turn your tassels. Good job. Bachelor's degree recipients, please be seated.
Wow. Congratulations, new alumni. Today you transition from UCI students to members of the Anteater alumni family. The UCI Alumni Association works to bring value to your UCI degree and connects you to the larger network of amazing anteaters across the globe. Today, a member of the UCI Alumni Association Board of Directors, Derek Sabori, is here to welcome you into the Anteater alumni family. Derek Sabori graduated from UCI with degrees from the Claire Trevor School of the Arts and the Paul Marat School of Business. But he loved all the other schools too. Currently a consultant to lifestyle brands, a career coach, and an entrepreneur, Derek is helping organizations, individuals, and students become more competent and confident in their approach to sustainability and the climate crisis through his coaching company, The Underswell. Derek is also a co-founder of the sustainable lifestyle brand Cosm. Derek?
Thank you very much, Provost Stern. What a true honor it is to be here, representing fellow anteaters and addressing you all on this momentous occasion. On behalf of the UCI Alumni Association, I'd like to welcome you to the Anteater alumni family. You all join an alumni body of more than 227,000 alumni in California and around the world. We are a dynamic and accessible community made better with you, the class of 2022. Anteaters are unique. We're trailblazers, change makers, innovators, leaders in the arts, sciences, business, education, all walks of life. And you all now share a common bond as proud anteaters who earned your degrees at our incredible alma mater. So that can mean a lifelong friendship, a foot in the door at an employer or a nonprofit that you've had your eye on, or maybe just a passing glance of pride for sporting UCI gear wherever you may go. The Alumni Association brings this family of anteaters to you, connects you, so that you can learn from their experiences, gain access to opportunities, and be prepared as you go forth into your professional lives. So again, welcome to the UCI alumni family. You are Anteaters for life, and your Alumni Association is here to support you. Congratulations, class of 2022, on this incredible milestone, and of course, Zot, Zot, Zot.
Thank you, Derek, and let me add my additional congratulations as well. There are some very special guests here today that deserve some well-earned recognition. They have encouraged and in many cases made great sacrifices so that the graduates before us could further their education. Now, will the parents, spouses, significant others, loved ones, grandparents, children, and the rest of the relatives and supporters of the graduates please stand for a round of applause. our thanks to all of you and congratulations to the graduates. Graduates, now it is time to raise your hands and join me in 3 strong anteater zots. Danya, will you please join me on stage as we lead our featured speaker, Dr. Yusef Salaam, our graduates' families, special guests, and a UCI traditional zot, zot, zot. Now graduates, we're gonna raise our hands. On the count of 3, we're gonna do zot, zot, zot like you've never zotted before. All right? 1, 2, 3. Zot, zot, zot. Thank you, and congratulations to you all. The commencement ceremony will now conclude with a recessional march. We are requesting that graduates remain seated until the recessional is completed. Thank you for participating in today's ceremony. Congratulations once again, and zot, zot, zot.
Thank you for attending the 2022 UCI Commencement. Please make your way from the field into the stadium via the seating bowl and reunite with your family and friends in the main concourse or the courtyards to enjoy the UCI photo stages.